Hi there, it's Kay Mantello here. Today I'm going to be talking about how energy works in the body. So I'm an energy healing practitioner. I practice crystal healing, Reiki, Pranic energy healing, and I think regardless of what your healing modality is, it's really important to understand how energy works in the body. Interestingly enough, this isn't something that I was taught when I was learning my skill set or learning how to be a practitioner. It was touched on in the courses that I did, but my understanding of energy really came with a lot of experience, and it may be different to what other people's understanding of energy is, but given that energy and understanding energy and certainly how human energy works is almost a unknown quantity. I don't think there's any right or wrong. So I would love to share with you my understanding of how energy works in the body after about 12 years of energy healing experience. Humans really have two main energy gateways. So we've got our higher energy gateway, or our astral or spiritual energy gateway, which is expressed through the higher crown, and the third eye chakras. Now this connects us to our spiritual energy, our inspiration, our ideas, our motivation, our intuition, and it's a very important part of our energetic profile. We also are connected to earth energy. So humans, not only are we spiritual beings, we're also earthly beings made up of physical matter. Now, all physical matter is energy manifest in physical form. So we get this earthly energy through the root chakra or through the earth chakra. Now this can be, through eating food. This can be physical energy, to work our muscles and bones and help us go to the gym, and it's more of a physical fuel energy. So we have a constant flow of energy that runs through our body like this in an up and down direction. You could almost visualize it as a circular flow of energy flowing down through the higher crown chakra and up through the root chakra, flowing all the time. Now, I like to think of this energy flow as like a two-way river, or even like a two-way highway. Let's think about it. Let's think about it first like an energy flow, like a river. So, and then we'll switch to the highway analogy, because I think that works better for understanding the two-way flow. So if energy is like a river flowing through the body, just like a river, crap is constantly being dumped into it. Sticks, leaves, in our case, it's, toxic food, bad, unhealthy thought processes, unserving belief systems, judgments. So all of this debris is constantly being thrown into our river of energy. And the body, every cell in the body is actually programmed and built to detoxify. So our body is actually a very effective detoxification system, even on a cellular level. And that works really well, except that in today's society, we have so much more toxicity than I think humans were ever meant to deal with. I'm talking through food, through air quality, through our lifestyle choices, through exposure to radiation, through computers and TVs, mental pollution that we're exposed to, through fear-mongering and wars. Like we've become very, very toxic. So the body's become quite overloaded. And in a lot of cases, we see now energy healing's becoming really, really popular, because people are just in a constant state of ill health, and they don't understand why. Pills aren't fixing it. Doctors aren't fixing it. A change in diet's not fixing it. So we really need an understanding of how our energy is being affected by this toxic style of living. So if we come back to the river analogy and, thinking about our energy flow like a river, you can just visualize all the junk that's been thrown in there, all the dirt, the leaves, the rocks that have been thrown in there. And what happens to a river when all this stuff's thrown into it? It blocks up. It becomes dammed or jammed, and the water can't flow, and it still trickles around the side, and we get that through the chakra system. Even if a chakra is blocked, the trickle of energy is still flowing around it and can get to the other chakras, but they're very heavily compromised. They're not in optimal health. They're not receiving the full flow of energy that they need to be functioning optimally, and that affects our whole well-being. So we know that energy flows through the body in two directions, in through the higher crown and up through the earth chakra. So it's almost like a two-lane highway where you've got this multi-directional energy flow all the time going up and down the body simultaneously. Now, what happens if there's a blockage in one chakra area? So let's use the throat as an example. Now, the throat chakra can become quite blocked if you're a person who doesn't speak up, who's always, restricting your self-expression, who's constantly biting their tongue, or perhaps you're someone who's actually really vocal and expressive, but you've been suppressed or denied that opportunity to express yourself really authentically, then this chakra can actually become quite blocked, which you'll feel through tension through all of this area. So what happens, just like this highway energy flow throughout the body, is that subsequent chakras, so the flow of energy in both directions then becomes compromised. Now we can work with this upwards and downwards flow of energy to actually clear blockage and then raise energy upwards through the body. Now the way we do this is because the flow of energy that comes in through the higher crown chakra and flows downwards is cleansing energy. It's a cleansing flow of energy. So we actually work, when we're cleansing a chakra or unblocking a chakra, we actually work with the crystals, the wand, your hands, whatever your tool of choice is, in a downwards motion. So we're sweeping the energy downwards because we're working with that river or that highway flow or direction of energy flowing down the body. And this can flush any blocked energy away. Second to that is the root chakra, which is located in the genital area at the perineum. Not only is this where all your organs of elimination are for physical detoxification, so when you go to the bathroom, for example, that's also where we energetically detox as well through the root chakra. So any blockage, it doesn't matter which chakra the energy is blocked in, we still release it down through the root chakra. Now think about this. If we go back and picture the energy highway again, let's say you're driving down the highway and your exit is 3 exits down the way. What happens if there's a traffic jam, at the first exit that you're going to get to? Then this is actually going to hold up the flow of traffic who are going down the highway wanting to exit down exit 1, 2, and 3, all the way down to your exit point. So every exit point, the flow of energy can't reach down. So when we're cleansing a blockage in one of our chakras, for example, going back to the throat, if we want to move that blockage downwards to be released through the root chakra, if we don't actually start with the root chakra and cleanse the root chakra first and then work our way up the body until we get to the throat chakra, then all we're doing is, if we're moving this blockage down, we're just clogging up another chakra area because we haven't opened all the subsequent chakra areas. So whenever we're cleansing or working with eliminating a blockage in the body energetically, we always have to open and cleanse the root chakra first. And that's not enough. We then work up the body and cleanse and open up each chakra point. So going up the sacral, and then the solar plexus, and then the heart, and then the throat chakra, so that can flow smoothly down and out of the body without any further obstruction. Because what happens is, if you move a blockage down through the body but you haven't actually opened up all the other chakras to, if the chakras, if we picture the chakras like a doorway or a gateway, if you haven't actually opened them and cleared them first, then that flow of energy can't flow down and it just gets blocked and causes problems somewhere else in the body. So often we see this, people that have had some kind of emotional trauma, because the energy flow, whenever we release and let go, the energy is flowing downwards. So naturally, energy migrates south. So if we've had some kind of a heartache or heart trauma, the body naturally tries to process that and eliminate it by moving down the body. But inevitably, if we don't deal with it properly, it'll just get stuck at the solar plexus or sacral chakras, and that's often where we see a lot of emotional trauma stuck there and manifest in the way of weight gain, sluggish digestion, low self-esteem, negative, not believing in yourself, low personal power. So this is all can be a result of emotional trauma that's migrated down through the body and then gets blocked in the lower chakras and can't be released because those chakras haven't been cleansed and opened. And it works both ways. So when we're trying to then, once we've cleansed a chakra, then we want to energize it and fill it up with that powerful life force energy which comes in through the crown. So which comes in through the earth and connects up through the crown. So what we need to do when we're charging a chakra, let's go back to the throat chakra. So if we've cleansed it, then we might want to charge it. So what we have to do is draw the energy upwards, but it's no good drawing the energy upwards through the body if we haven't actually cleared and opened all the chakras between the throat and the higher crown, because otherwise it might just get stuck at the next chakra point. So what we do in this case is if we're wanting to energize and draw energy upwards, so if we're working with a client or ourselves and we're trying to bring in inspiration and creativity and joy and lightness and healing, then we need to actually open the higher crown chakra first. So this gateway is just open and flowing and ready for that energy to go through it. And then we work our way down. So we open this first, and then we charge the crown chakra, and then the third eye chakra. And then once all these three are charged and cleansed and opened, then we can move to the throat and we can draw that energy upwards through the body unobstructed. So that's how energy, or how I've come to understand energy, works in the body. And this has really been a very effective way for me to perform energetic healings, especially chakra healings, on clients in the past. Now, it doesn't matter if you're using Reiki, crystals, whatever your methodology is, that use those guidelines in a very broad sense to guide you. So when you're cleansing, you work down with the downflow of energy in the body. When you're charging and uplifting, we work with the upflow of energy in the body. But before we do that, we have to make sure that the pathway between the higher crown and the root chakras are open before we can actually start moving all that energy through the body. Otherwise, you can just be moving it and blocking up another part of the body. So I hope you found that useful. If you haven't already, check out some of my crystal healing session videos where I actually show you how I cleanse and charge the chakras and how this theory works in practice. Then you can actually apply some skills to my voice and to give you some guidance along the way. And I hope you've learned something today. Thanks for watching.